Do you remember the first time you really saw the stars? I'm not talking about the handful of lonely survivors you see in a washed out urban sky. I mean the sky so full of them it felt like you could just fall right in. That feeling of wonder, of being connected to something huge and beautiful, that's a birthright. But for 80% of Americans, that birthright has been stolen. An invention meant to bring us into the light is, ironically, making our world darker by erasing the stars. It's a creeping, silent theft happening over our heads every night. This is the story of how we lost the night and the simple ways we can get it back. So, who's the thief? We call it light pollution, but that term feels way too gentle for what's happening. It's the mess of excessive, misdirected, and just plain unnecessary artificial light we blast into the night sky. Think of it this way. Trying to see a dim star from a city is like trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a rock concert. The starlight is still there, having traveled for thousands, even millions of years to reach us, but its faint message is completely drowned out by the roar of our own light. This happens because our atmosphere acts like a giant pinball machine for light. When we use unshielded lights that blaze upwards and outwards, that light doesn't just slip off into space. It smacks into air molecules and particles, scattering in every direction. This creates a hazy dome of orange, white, or bluish glow that hangs over our cities, what scientists call sky glow. Sky glow is the main culprit. It brightens the very canvas of the night, turning down the contrast in the universe until only the loudest objects like the moon and a few planets can break through. Our own home galaxy, the Milky Way, is one of the first victims to disappear. For a long time, the problem just grew with our cities, but the recent massive switch to LED lighting has, paradoxically, made things a lot worse. While they're great for saving energy, many early generation LEDs are packed with blue wavelength light. This blue light scatters far more aggressively in the atmosphere than the warmer, yellow light of the old sodium lamps. So even if a city isn't using more light, the type of light is making the sky glow significantly brighter. Data from citizen science projects shows our night skies have been brightening by an average of nearly 10% every year. At that rate, a spot where a kid can see 250 stars today might only show 100 by the time they're a teenager. We're literally accelerating into a world with a blank sky. Losing the stars is a huge cultural loss, but the consequences of wiping out the night go far beyond the spoiled view. This problem digs deep into our environment and even our own bodies. For billions of years, life on Earth has evolved with a steady, reliable rhythm of day and night. Our flood of artificial light has shattered that cycle. Wildlife is paying a terrible price. Migratory birds, which have navigated by the moon and stars for eons, are now lured off course by the siren call of city lights. They become disoriented, circling lit-up buildings until they drop from exhaustion or collide with glass they can't see. Millions die this way every single year. A similar tragedy unfolds in our coast. Sea turtle hatchlings have a simple instinct: crawl towards the brightest horizon, which for millennia was the moonlit ocean. Now they crawl towards streetlights and hotels, toward roads and certain death. And we aren't immune. Our bodies are tuned to this rhythm of light and dark. It's called our circadian clock. This internal timekeeper governs everything from sleep to hormone production. When we blast ourselves with light at night, especially that bluish light from LEDs and screens, we send our brain a mixed signal. It's daytime, wake up. This disrupts our natural cycle and suppresses melatonin, the hormone that says it's time to sleep. The consequences aren't just a rough morning. A growing mountain of research links this chronic disruptor to a frightening list of health problems: insomnia, depression, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and even a high risk for some cancers. We lit the night to feel safer, but we may have made ourselves sicker. The most jarring part is how fast this happened. We've gotten so used to starless skies that many people don't even realize what they're missing. There's a famous story from 1994, after a major earthquake caused a blackout in Los Angeles. Emergency services were flooded with calls from panicked residents reporting a strange, giant silvery cloud in the sky. That mysterious cloud was the Milky Way, a sight so alien to the modern urban eye it was mistaken for a threat. It's a powerful, sobering reminder of what we've lost. We've disconnected ourselves from the cosmos so completely that we no longer recognize our own galaxy. After all that, it's easy to feel hopeless, but here's the most remarkable thing about light pollution. Of all the major forms of pollution we face, it's the easiest to solve. Unlike carbon in the atmosphere or plastics in the ocean, light pollution vanishes the instant you flip a switch. The solution isn't to send ourselves back to the dark ages, it's just about being smarter with our light. The International Dark Sky Association has laid out a few simple principles anyone can follow. First, light should be targeted. This means using fully shielded fixtures. Think of a solid cap on top that points all the light down where it's needed, not up into the sky. There's a difference between a bare bulb and a well-designed lampshade, and it's the single most effective way to fight sky glow. Second, the light level should be low. Lights are often way brighter than necessary for safety. Using lower wattage bulbs and ditching the brighter is better mindset makes a huge difference. Third, the light should be controlled. Why light up a parking lot all night long if it's empty after 10 p.m.? Using timers, dimmers, and motion sensors is the common sense way to use light only when and where it's actually needed. This cuts pollution and saves a ton of energy and money. And finally, the color of the light matters a lot. As we've learned, blue-rich white light is the worst defender for sky glow in our health. Whenever possible, we should choose lights with a warm color temperature, the ones that give off a soft, amber, or warm white glow. These aren't complicated or expensive fixes, they're simple, practical choices that every person, business, and town can make, and they work. You can start tonight, seriously. Walk outside and look at the lights around your own home. Are they shielded? Are they on all night for no reason? Are they a harsh, bluish-white color? Changing just one outdoor bulb or adding a simple shield is your first step to reclaiming the night. For detailed guides and to see what dark sky-friendly lighting looks like, visit the website for the International Dark Sky Association linked down below. They have resources to help you make a difference, whether it's in your backyard or by encouraging your town to adopt smarter lighting policies. The night sky is our shared heritage. It's been a source of wonder, navigation, and inspiration for every human who has ever lived. Losing it means losing a fundamental connection to the universe. But the story doesn't have to end here. By lighting our world more thoughtfully, we can stop the erasure. We can bring back the stars, not just for astronomers, but for all of us. We can give the next generation the chance to look up and feel that same sense of awe our ancestors did, to see their place in the vast, beautiful, and star-filled cosmos.